Welcome to the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Laney, where we listen to all 92 Diamond albums certified by Billboard. Today's album is
Mariah Carey's, if I can find it, Music Box.
But before we get into anything about the album or anything at all, here's our news segment.
Okay, so for this week, I actually didn't write the music news on paper. It's on my phone because there wasn't a lot going on, from what I could find anyway. So sorry if I disappoint you all. Spencer Eldon, who appeared on Nirvana's iconic album cover Nevermind, and if you don't know what I'm referencing, it's the naked baby in the pool. Well, he's suing the band's surviving members because of, well, basically saying he couldn't have consented to that for the 1991 album. However, he has been called out by Chris Cuomo, saying, and I quote, "You think that this man is really a good face for the pain of child pornography. So you think he's really the good face for the pain of child pornography? Somebody who's made money out of it, has a tattoo on his chest about it, has celebrated it at different times in his life, and had all this time to reach out about it in the context that you're offering now and never did. You really think that this is something that would be comforting to real victims?" So that's the end of that one. You can take that stance, whichever side you want. Next, Kanye West released his new album, Donda. Is that correct?
Donda, baby.
Yeah. Except then he posted that they released it without his consent.
But then some people at the label are also like, "Nah, that's cap, bro. He let us do that. Like, we even threw a party."
And then there's also, like, supporting artists who have posted about it, who are supposed to be on the album or are on the album. I don't know. I haven't listened to it. Let us know if you've listened to it. Have you listened to it?
No. I mean, it only came out as of, 2 or 3 days ago, right?
Yeah, it is pretty recent.
I'll probably listen to it this weekend when I have a bunch of time.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense. So, next up, we have that, and this is from an Instagram post that I found, but the astounding genius Lee Scratch Perry has passed away at 85. And this is the man, when Paul McCartney was basically arrested for possession of marijuana, he defended him and said that he wasn't doing anything wrong. And he was in the music industry for a very long time.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So yeah, it was a very big loss in the rock and roll community. For any of you people in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, or even the outside areas, there is a festival exactly 1 week from now called New Ground Music Festival. Alright, so if you're looking for new music or a smaller music festival to attend, go ahead and do that. Get your tickets. New Ground Music Festival. I'll repeat it again. I think it's almost sold out, actually. They might be running out of tickets, so go
get it while they're hot.
Get your tickets. Next up, Billie Eilish is doing her Happier Than Ever, A Love Letter to Los Angeles with Disney Plus. And I have seen, I guess, the trailer for it, and if you haven't, you should go watch it because it actually is really cool. And you know how she's really into anime?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Well, they animate her. And
that's cool.
And she sings with an orchestra behind her, which is, I've seen Metallica do that, and I know other bands have done that, and I think that's really cool for her new album. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole concept of that, I think that's just brilliant. So, be looking out for that.
That's totally a Beatles thing. That definitely originated from the Beatles. 10 things that the Beatles accidentally created. Sorry, it's a cool video.
Yeah, go check it out after this. Also, the band Kiss, they are all testing, well, not all of them. Paul Stanley and Gene have both tested positive for COVID.
Oh, poor Kiss.
And they're supposed to be touring, I believe.
Poor Kiss.
So, poor Kiss.
COVID. Come on, man.
All right, next up, the viral drummer, oh gosh, I can't remember how to pronounce her name.
Oh, bro.
I can't remember. Nandi, I'm so sorry how I mispronounced that. Bushell, again, really sorry. She blew up because she would post drum covers on YouTube, and Dave Grohl and her had like a drum off. Well, what's fun about that is that she actually joined the Foo Fighters on stage at one of their concerts to play their song Everlong. And that was really cool. If you haven't seen a video, you can look it up on YouTube. So go check that out because it is really cool. And even maybe try to go find her YouTube channel.
After you subscribe to the Diamond Mine.
after. You watch, subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever.
And find my email.
And find Nate's email in the first 10 episodes. Next up, I don't know how they describe their sound. They sound like the Strokes, so it's kind of that rock, alternative kind of feel. But it's the band Ultra Q. They dropped a new song, Bowman, to announce their new EP, Get Yourself a Friend. And they have articles in Kerrang! Magazine. They were featured on BBC One's radio on September 1st at 9 p.m. UK time. And they also have an article in the Aquarian. So go check them out. Personally, they're one of my favorite bands at the moment because they have 2 other EPs. And they were also a band called Mount Eddie before that, and they released 2 other EPs. So, yeah. And last but not least, we are going to update you on Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement. Jamie Spears, her father, this is a headline right here. Britney Spears' lawyer claims Jamie wants $2 million. Will not be extorted.
In quotes, will not be extorted.
In quotes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
And that is all we have for today's music news.
Free Britney. And we're back from that news segment. So before we get into Mariah Carey's album, let's do our social medias. So the Twitter, TDMPod, TDMPOD. The Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast. The YouTube, in case you're an audio listener and you want to see our beautiful faces or you want to watch our vlogs, which I did just get a new mic, so that audio quality about to be improving. The Diamond Mine on YouTube. If you look up the Diamond Mine Podcast, will be the first thing that pops up. Also, subscribe, rate 5 stars, like, do whatever, follow, so you get notified whenever we post a podcast, and you can just support us in a different way so we can reach more people. Anyways, would you like to get into the album?
Sure. So, this album, little fun fact, was released on August 31st, 1993. So yesterday was its 28-year anniversary.
How about that? Happy birthday, Music Box.
Happy birthday, Music Box. This album is 10 songs long, a whopping 42 minutes, and it went 10 times platinum. Also, Nate's 18 now.
Oh, yeah, I did turn 18 as of August 27th. It's September 1st right now, as of recording this. So, happy birthday to me.
Okay. Also, I'm not wearing my band shirt. It's a National Park shirt, but I have a Green Day koozie for all you vloggers out there. Let me get the hand. Thank you.
We're like beauty YouTubers, like makeup
beauty
YouTubers.
Influencers, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, first song.
Okay, so the first song is called Dream Lover. She opens it up with an Ariana whistle tone. I like that that's just known as an Ariana note now. Yeah. Even though Ariana came after, she's just so iconic for that.
Now Mariah is known as that skinny legend.
Oh God. Anyways, this is a head bopper. This immediately reminded me of a thing that remixed it. It was a remixed YouTube parody that I can't say what it's about, but it involves Ninja Turtles. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
If you want to look it up.
Yeah, if you want to look it up, be advised, it is definitely 18 plus.
It's borderline
it's up
X-rated.
there. It's up there, bro.
It's pretty it's on YouTube, though.
This is definitely something that would play at the end of a rom-com.
Oh, yeah.
She hasn't gone through as many voice filters in the song, which I really appreciate. I feel like the younger her music is, or I guess older her music is, the less like studio production is used to make her sound better.
Right.
And I can just really appreciate that because we did listen to an album, one of her albums, and it was not,
good. For all you listeners out there, he put better in quotation marks.
Yeah, I did it with this hand. So if you couldn't tell, this was a banger though. This was a good one. This one had me going. This is probably top 3 song on the album for me personally.
I 100% agree with you on that. So for my notes, this album is classified as a pop album. That's a genre, but this song was very R&B. Mm-hmm. Very R&B, and I love that. Actually, I like when she sings that style because I
feel like it fits her better.
It does. I think it's way better than her slow, lovey-dovey stuff, but we'll get into that later. And my main reason for the R&B is because of the use of the drum kit. Listen if you really want to get into detail with that. Her whistle notes overlapping at the end of the chorus, it sounded like a train whistle, but with a higher pitch. Because I think it was because they tried to harmonize the whistle notes. And so when it did that, it just sounded like a train whistle. You know that train whistle that you have?
Like the little wooden train whistle thing I have? That's not necessarily bad. I think train whistles are cool sounding.
That's what it sounds like, but just take it up a few notches. Anyway, it's very catchy, and it's a Mariah Carey song that I actually enjoyed because I'm not a huge Mariah Carey fan. I
think we disclosed that last Mariah Carey podcast, but if you didn't see that.
Yeah, I'll just be upfront about it. I'm not a big Mariah Carey fan. Sorry, Mariah. Don't mean to hurt your feelings. Anyway, the song does have a very familiar sound, and she co-wrote every song on this album except for one. And the one song she didn't co-write, I'm kind of sad she didn't, because it was a good song.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was like one of the more popular ones on the album, I'm pretty sure, right?
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was.
No, it was number 5.
I thought it was number 7 was the one, and because I remember I made the joke, like, oh, it's one of the most popular ones on the album, she didn't even write it.
Oh, it was number 7.
Yeah. It
was the...
Number 5 is a banger, though.
Number 5 is a good one. Okay, Next song.
The last thing I will say about this song is I will definitely listen to it in the car tomorrow morning. The next song is called Hero. I've heard this one before. I just vaguely remembered it. But this was it was corny. It was corny.
Yeah.
There's a hero inside of you, and that's like the hook of the song. Oh my gosh, Mariah. The beat and build-up reminds me of Whitney Houston, specifically her rendition of the song I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton.
Thank you.
Just letting you know.
Fun fact of the day.
I feel like she could be doing more things vocally, though, to give that justice. Like, it has that feel, but she just doesn't live up to that.
Yeah. I understand. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the song. I'll touch on that. Also, when you were talking about, I don't even remember at this point, I almost did the whistle note, and then I decided I was going to spare the audience.
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
And our own ears.
It'd go through here and into our headphones. Oh my gosh.
And also the fact that I'm sitting right.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I get very specific when I describe the scene, so bear with me, okay? Okay?
Absolutely.
Hero. Number 1, I'm disappointed that it wasn't Bonnie Tyler's Holding Out for a Hero. Guilty pleasure song. Moving on. This is another one of those songs that fits into like one of those teen movies where the popular kid falls in love with the nerd, but it started off as a bet, so they had to fight when they find out that it was a bet.
The fact that that's such a movie trope.
It is, though. And then they magically, forgive the other person at prom, and they dance to the song, fall in love or whatever. Which, it's funny because there's a movie. It's not appropriate. I think it's R-rated, actually. Maybe not. It's either PG-13. No, it might be R-rated. So, discretion. It's called Not Another Teen Movie, and it makes fun of every single teen movie trope.
I think I have seen that. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, anyway. Moving on to my next note. She had a Celine Dion build-up and let it drop. She let it drop. Celine Dion would never. Her voice would have shattered the windows if she had had that build-up.
That Celine Dion would have made me turn to dust in a good way. Not in like a Thanos snap way, like a rapture way, bro.
I do love those videos where she's like, well, you see, it's the technology because my voice is built differently. And
my
the technology
voice is built
isn't as advanced. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's a fact, though. But anyway, my last note is that it has a good message, even though it is rather corny, like May has said, and it has a good melody. I would listen to it if it came on and I was in like the right headspace or mood or whatever, but it was okay. So,
yeah.
Moving on.
The next song is called Anytime You Need a Friend. It's got that church choir hitting the notes in the back. Mm-hmm. Also, when I wrote my notes, I almost spelled choir Quire. So I just thought that would be a little tidbit. This reminds me of like a soulful gospel hymn, if you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It hits the soul on the choruses. I just think the verses, again, I mean, it wasn't like this with the last song, but kind of. It doesn't do it justice, but with the last song, it was like the words didn't do the Whitney Houston feel justice, but this, it's the verse doesn't do the chorus justice.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The whistle notes, though, those are insane. The fact that she just be ripping those.
I really want to try.
Do it, bro.
I know we did it before. I'll get to that. I'll do it at a random point, though. Anyway. Is that all you had? All right, awesome. So, this sounds very similar to the last song with a dash of Phil Collins. If you haven't seen or heard that episode, that was our last episode, please go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I love plugging
Phil Collins, baby. Studio.
Stop it. Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Anyway, like Nate has already touched on, she had a choir behind her that really adds a nice depth to this song that I think the album honestly benefited from. It really needed it. And it's another nice message. It's around 3 minutes. She really has what? Oh, around 3 minutes. As Nate used to say, she really got in her bag. That was the throwback.
Oh, do I not say that? I guess I don't say that anymore.
No, you don't say that anymore. And she really just belted. She went for it, and I really enjoyed that. And that's all.
That's like an early podcast thing. I remember saying that episode one. I said it episode 1 when I remember like there was one song that they were singing. It wasn't the one that we really like, but it was the other one, and I was like, he doesn't let Kenny G get into his Kenny G bag.
You did say that the first episode.
I remember that
I don't
vividly.
know if you've said it in this room.
Well, I just said it.
I know. Well, so did I. I know for a fact that you said it in the garage because that was Kenny G.
Yeah.
In the first closet in that room.
Yeah, because that was Nickelback and Creed and somebody else, I think.
And then in that closet, I know you've said it because you used to say it almost every episode.
Dude, it's a good way to describe it. Now I say like vibe.
I know, but we also have an older audience in some ways, like if we have like
okay, older audience. If you've ever been confused by my lingo, I apologize. Getting in his bag just kind of means like you're getting in your groove, like your feel. You're in your comfort zone. You're going for it, and you're not having any fear, like, and you're really just letting it rip, and not in the flatulence way. This next song is called Music Box, namesake of the album.
Flatulence. Title track.
This song is called Flatulence. This sounds like a lullaby.
Imagine an album called Flatulence. I'd listen to that.
Mm-hmm. But,
I mean, Dookie.
Dookie. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Anyway.
It honestly sounds like a Christian song, which is funny because I was talking about gospel last song. Mm-hmm. Except for the literal... This is the only line that makes it not. It says... I'm the only one you need, which if it was a Christian song, it'd be like, you're the only one I need.
Yeah.
So that's the only part that kind of makes it,
Coke.
But there's a lot of allusions to Christianity too. Like,
oh yeah,
she says sweet and tenderly, and she uses the word thee, like Thee, and that kind of alludes to the King James version of the Bible. And I just feel like she's very inspired by gospel music and stuff on this album. What have you been doing to my left this whole entire time?
This song specifically had a lot going on. You'll see it when you go back and look. Anyway, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Duck, duck, goose. All lyrics point to Christianity, like Nate has already touched on, except for the all line where it says, "And you tell me I'm the only one you need." So it's a love song. And I've heard other songs that do that, like Holy by Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Or is that Florida Georgia Line?
No, that's Justin Bieber.
No, that's Justin Bieber, but Florida Georgia Line, they're country, but not my personal favorite. But they have a song that's like that, where it sounds like Christian, but it's actually a love song. Mm-hmm. So an interesting way to do things, an interesting take, if you will. I didn't like the section that sounded like she was trying to harmonize whispering whistle notes.
Yes.
That sounded just
it was a little
strange and kind of didn't really fit. Or at least I didn't think so anyway. It didn't fit. Very slow. Close to 5 minutes.
Yep.
The music box at the beginning, however, was a nice touch, and I'll end it on that high note.
The next song is called Now That I Know. This one opens up slow, boring, and I was just like, oh gosh, here's another one. She said, psych! She lied right out the rip. Does like a Jackson 5, I Want You Back, little piano run. Kind of reminds me of Celebrate by Kool and the Gang. You know, the Celebrate Good Times. Anyways, this was not what I was expecting out of this song, but this kind of shows, to get on a sour note, I'm sorry, this kind of shows that she knows that her faster songs are better than her slower songs. Like,
but some of her slow songs are some of her most popular, though.
Which is weird to me.
So I think it varies from album to album.
But this kind of showed that consciousness to me. But maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. This is an absolute thumper. This is also a top 3 song in the album. This probably competes with Dream Lover for me for number 1. I think
I like this one more, though.
Yeah, this one was super duper fun. I could see my mom jogging to this back in the 90s, or maybe like a steady power walk. Shout out to you, Mom.
Your mom, tell me she wasn't a power walker.
No, she was a jogger, always.
I remember her running, because she used to run
all the time.
A lot.
But,
miles.
If anything, it's just a little repetitive towards the end, and that's my biggest gripe.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Nate's already touched on the beginning, so I'm not going to restate any of that. However, you said Jackson 5 and what's it called? Celebrations? I thought it sounded like Good Vibrations by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Feel it. Good vibration.
Oh my God. Our ad-libs. But this song perfectly fits in with the early 90s atmosphere of pop and hip-hop. I wrote atmosphere twice because I'm stupid. Because there are multiple other songs that came to mind while listening to this specific song.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write them down because there were multiple. But I also it was very reminiscent of the 70s. And Nate mentioned the Jackson 5, which I Want You Back came out in 69.
Yeah.
So it kind of has that same groove, that flow to it. And I really appreciated that. I would 100% listen to this one. And yeah.
This next song is called Never Forget You.
Mm-hmm.
There's some nice harmonies in the chorus. I don't have a ton to say. It's just nice stuff. But this song isn't super entertaining. Lainey literally put on her news time glasses and started singing Weezer during the song.
Because it reminded me of the Weezer song, She Needs Me. It's on their new album, Van Weezer. Go check it out.
But, yeah, this is definitely filler to make this an album and not an EP.
The song was an absolute snooze fest.
Yeah, E minor! Good morning, guys. Anyways, this next song is called Without You. I really, on like an unrelated note from this song, I'm sorry, I don't know when else to say this. I really liked when she had curly hair. I wish she didn't straighten her hair. I think her wow, that was a loud bug. That sounded like it was like on the window. It probably was.
Came inside the watch. Sick of this.
Anyways, I really liked her curly hair. I wish she kept it like that. But I mean, I guess it's her choice. I don't care that much. I've heard the song before, but like only the chorus. It's definitely been on a commercial or a movie or something like that. It's very powerful during the chorus, but the verses are just and that's really all I have to say.
I basically said the exact same thing where I said it's one of her popular songs. I've only heard the chorus. Powerful voice like always, but just not my style.
Yeah. So the next song is called Just to Hold You Once Again. This one was very boring. This one was the most boring to me so far, honestly. The choruses didn't hit. The verses didn't hit. There was the slow drums in the back making this feel like it was going 2 miles per hour. And honestly, I was just done. I was just done with this song.
I don't remember this song, to be honest with you all. I wrote Mariah. You're losing me. I'm sorry, but you're losing me with this one. It reminds me of Highway Don't Care by Tim McGraw with Keith Urban and Taylor Swift, if you all know that song. If not, look it up. Maybe. I like that song personally, but I just don't like this song.
Uh-huh.
And it was meh. Oh, but also me saying that, it's kind of like music repeating itself. Have you heard of that? Where like no music is really original anymore because it all just cycles from something at
yeah, because everybody gets some sort of inspiration from something and everything's been done, so it's like you just like
and
mix
even, like,
certain things.
The first music, it originated from like the sounds of nature and things like that, and that's how. So anyway.
Because like the first music wasn't even notes; it was just drums. So it was just like things beating on things, and we were like, so yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to break out the ape on camera behind the mic. I thought that was a closed door private thing, and you did that straight for the world to see.
Anyways, this next song is called. Wait, are you done?
Yeah, I've been done.
All right. The next song is called "I've Been Thinking About You." This song sounds like it would be in the PlayStation 2 NBA Street Volume 2. I'm pretty sure is what it's called. This is a banger. At this point in the album, I realized half of the songs on this album are like booty butthole, and then half of them are certified hood classics. Like, really. And I don't understand why she can't just make all bangers.
Time out. For all of you who don't know what Nate just said, booty butthole means the songs were not good. Certified Hood Classics means that the songs were fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving forward.
Sorry. Sometimes I forget. Like, I just talk like I talk.
I do too. Even sometimes I don't understand you. So.
Sorry. I definitely like earlier Mariah Carey better than later.
Yeah.
Obviously, this album is higher on the list than that last album, so it kind of shows a lot of people do. At least the reviewers.
Did you remember that one? It was low, wasn't it?
It was quite low.
Okay.
Because I think most of it was like the slow stuff. I think she only had one or two songs that were like.
So it's probably like
had
80s.
energy.
It was probably 80s.
There's the like synthiness in the song, and then like I don't really know what it is. It's very synonymous with like songs about basketball and around basketball and like early 90s songs, but it's like a synthy electronic brass hit. It's a very specific sound, and I can't think of it. It almost sounds like an electronic brass hit mixed with like a record scratch, maybe.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, that sound. If you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put to edit that sound in. Nate, it's this sound here. There's that, and it just gives us such an awesome feel. Honestly, it really sounds like the song. Speaking of basketball, the song "Basketball" by who is that by?
Bow Wow.
Bow Wow. From the show or from the movie Like Mike. Like very eerily similar. So yeah, that's basically all I got to say.
It's funny how you talk about 90s basketball culture, but think about it, like Michael Jordan, Space Jam, the Bulls, they were all
and then like
huge
you got
at that time.
I mean, shoot, just the legacy that like Mike had played against like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson too, and those are like some of the greatest players of all time, and then you just have this young kid that comes out of nowhere that's like way better than they ever were, you know? And
I don't know, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman though.
Those dudes are dogs. Dennis Rodman is an absolute dog. He does not get enough attention.
Well, he did back then when he did all of his crazy stuff.
Well, no, I like for the wrong reasons.
The wedding dress or whatever it was.
when he literally went to Las Vegas and
he just left. Oh my gosh.
Just left and nobody knew where he was.
Watch The Last Dance if you haven't already.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
really
absolutely.
Interesting,
Watch The Last Dance.
Wait, I don't even think I finished it. I think I still have like 2 episodes.
Bro, we should spend a day where we just watch all of it. Like,
it is a good
just hang out and just binge it.
Scottie Pippen, I mean, he's the best number 2 that there's ever been, probably.
Oh, he's one of the most underrated players of all time. I think he's a top, like, 20 basketball player of all time.
Yeah, and then Dennis Rodman, he's such an oddball, but I absolutely love it.
I love Dennis Rodman, too. He has done some weird things, but... such as befriending Kim Jong-un, but
I forgot about that one. The picture.
Anyways, we'll just I don't know how we're talking about the like
basketball,
90s Bulls right now, but
yeah,
no cap.
Anyway, Mariah. I said that very loudly. I'm so sorry.
Mariah. Michelle.
I just okay. Take it easy.
Sorry.
Okay. Thirsty. Anyway, Mariah, you won me back. Mariah, I also have a suggestion for you. For the 30th anniversary, so in 2 years, 2023, you should let Nate do some ad-libs, for a remix of the song.
No cap. I forgot I was doing that.
But I will say that the lyrics aren't all there, but I believe this one is one of the best on her album.
Mm-hmm.
She includes a little synth in there, like you kind of touched on with the basketball and all.
Yeah.
It was just a nice mixture, I thought. Instrumental-wise, again, the lyrics were mediocre. And she, honestly, I really like, and I know I've already said this, and we've both mentioned people like Whitney Houston, Jackson 5, people like that, but she takes from her past, like the past, not her past specifically, but the past, like, in the music industry, and her influences, and I really appreciate that she shows that in her music. I really like when people do that, obviously. Last song.
The last song is called All I've Ever Wanted. During the song, we had a whole conversation about Lainey being a vampire, and then she revealed that when she was little, you know how like you have
7,
to you have to stab a vampire with a stake to kill it. She thought that it was like a real steak,
like the food,
and
like that beef.
She was like, "Man, did they like cut off the heads and like put the stake down his throat, or like?"
No, hear me out. Let me paint a picture for you all. So, they cut off the vampire's head, right? Okay, bear with me. And there's like cartoons where the ham, and it has the ham bone. So you cut it down, and it's like the meat, and there's like the little bone in the center, right? That's what I imagine the neck looking like. And then they would just shove the steak down it. Granted, I'd seen movies, and obviously I knew it, like the steak like stabbing in the heart kind of thing. But that's just what I...
Anyways, I didn't really pay attention to the first half of the song.
Comment down below if you feel the same way.
It doesn't feel different for any of her other ballady... Or it doesn't feel different from any of her other ballady tunes.
Yeah.
It just feels so flavorless. It's just a really meh ending to the album. Because, to me... Is that a car?
That scared the crap out of me. I almost just peed. I'm not even kidding. Hey, guys.
What happened?
I've been watching a lot of, like, Ghost Hunter, like, radioactive...
Paranormal? Okay.
Paranormal Activity, but, like... And they use these things that help the ghost talk and stuff.
Yeah.
And on their...
Oh.
EMF readers and recordings, you can hear, like, light singing and, like, stuff like that. And that's exactly what that sounded like. I was like, I'm out.
Dude, yeah, I know that sound, but it was definitely just somebody's car racing down the highway. But
also, you said that it was flavorless. You know what had flavor? The steak that went down the throat.
No, because it doesn't touch their tongue.
I didn't say I had flavor to them. Maybe they wanted to season it with some garlic before they throw it down there.
Well, to have a good ending to an album, I think it needs to not be jarring, but yet it needs to have enough to stick with you and make you think about it. This song was definitely not jarring, but there was nothing about it that stuck with you afterwards, and that's my biggest complaint. It was very, it was like, if you put that song in the middle of the album, I wouldn't have felt any different about it. It just...
And when, first listening to this or whatever, I initially thought that if you swapped this song with the last song, I would have been much happier with the ending. And I would have been with the ending of the song. But then you would have multiple of those slow songs in a row.
Yeah.
And you would lose interest even more.
Mm-hmm. So that basketball sounding song, I don't want to call it a basketball song, but that basketball sounding song wouldn't have been as much fun because you would have already been disinterested.
Exactly. And she does have a moment, and I know you've already mentioned Whitney's version of I Will Always Love You, but she has a moment in here, like that specific version of the song, where the beat slows down for a second, and then it kicks in, and she belts her "And I."
Yeah.
And I know you all know what I'm talking about. And there was a moment in the song exactly like that, where it kind of kicks in and she has a moment. And the end also, I feel like, foreshadows her Christmas song when she sings, all I want for Christmas is you, because at the end of this song, she sings all I've ever wanted is you, and it's the same style.
Mm-hmm.
The same, I don't know what you want to call that, but yeah.
So.
And that concludes the album.
1 through 92, how you feeling?
Right now, I think it's at 58, 57.
I think it's 58.
I would put it between, we'll say 58, okay. I would put it between 58 and 68, which is a lot of room, but I might move it lower because, again, I just personally, the album as an entire thing, as an entire piece of artwork, wasn't my favorite. It's just not something I really enjoy, but there were some aspects that I thought were beautiful. They were genius, whatever. So if I move it lower, I don't think I would move it as low as 68, but that's my thought process on it.
So how I feel about this album has very high highs, but also has very low lows. So,
but not as low as her last album.
Yes. They're just, well, for me, what I value in a song, if I hear a song that's just meh and leaves no impression on me, that's just as bad to me, personally, as a song that's so bad that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, this is so bad it's funny. Like,
Nickelback.
Like, those are on the same level for me. Just because, like, you can just tell that they were flavorless and uninspired. Like, I really don't like when... I like when an album leaves me with something, leaves me thinking about things, and when you just have so many songs that don't do that at all, that really just does not tickle my fancy. So...
But we also say this with respect to the artist, because, like, again, this is an opinionated podcast. This is our personal preferences. Nate and I have similar and yet very different music tastes, so that's basically what this is. So there's no disrespect there, because what you create is what you create.
Yeah.
And obviously, she's extremely successful.
Yeah, she's doing better than I am.
Same. So...
She could literally buy our podcast and then just, like, do whatever she
could literally
wanted with
take the Diamond Mine podcast and turn it into her own podcast, and everyone would think it was just hers originally.
Yep. But, I mean, she can do that. So, shout out to you, Mariah Carey. Just because a couple of stupid early 20, late teen kids don't like some of your music does not mean you're not successful.
Don't feel discouraged.
Don't feel discouraged.
Trying.
Keep making those millions and millions of dollars every freaking Christmas.
Wait, you can continue your conclusion. I'm going to look up her net worth.
But yeah, with that being said, only 10 songs on this album too. There's probably like 4 or 5 bangers and then like 5 or 6 stinkers. So, maybe upper 60, mid 60s.
Okay, so we're kind of in the same.
Mid 60s. Okay. It may get moved up just because how high her highs were, but as I'm sitting here right now and reflecting on the album, just thinking about those flavorless songs really is leaving a bad taste in my mouth. But
hey, big mistake.
I forgot that was there.
Oh my God, full circle.
Oh my God, Kenny G.
Out of nowhere, Kenny G likes steak. Fun fact of the day.
Kenny G quote of the day.
I like steak.
I gotta poop. Kenny G probably at some point.
Oh my.
Anyways.
Oh wait, her net worth is $320 million.
Wow. Okay.
She doesn't even have to buy this. She could just ask and we'd have to give it to her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you have anything to say to the viewers before we start wrapping up?
The steak to kill a vampire.
So.
It's wooden to the heart. Not the steak that's it.
On God.
Like her.
So, the Twitter, TDM Pod, TDM POD. We post every time a thing goes up. Yes. The Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast. We do the same thing on there. the YouTube, the Diamond Mine. If you look up the Diamond Mine podcast, will be the first thing to pop up. Catch vlogs there, face cam.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Do all the stuff.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Anchor or Overcast or whatever you listen on. We might have something else in the works. We'll see. And that's all I can think of.
Okie doke. So this has been the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Laney. We'll be back at you next week with Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory.
Woo!